upload. I was thinking of giving it another shot, and it ended up being a disaster again. So everything I'm going to be doing from now on, or almost everything, will have to be live, essentially, unless it's a short or it's a very short video, which if I'm making a video 2 minutes long, then yes. Otherwise, it's all live from now on. Even if I'm with my computer or laptop. Um, I'll see about that actually. But real quick, I have an announcement. So later today, it looks like I am going to be meeting with my friend, Dan, who we've met through this channel, and he is very deeply Mandela affected. And I'm going to meet him. I don't have an exact time frame, but we are going to go live at about 4:45 p.m. And I do want to ask him, some detailed questions about his experiences and the changes and things like that. So it'll be about 4:45 p.m. Pacific time, and hopefully everything will go well. So, what am I talking about today? So the guy I shared in my community post, his name is Garnet Schulhauser, has an incredible story. In fact, one of the most unique and amazing stories I have ever heard in the spiritual communities. He was like a lawyer. Just to give like a brief summary, basically. First of all, he's an author, and I have all his books, and I'm very well versed on what he's talking about. He was a lawyer who met in person what he claimed to be his spirit guide, which came in the form of a homeless man. And subsequently, after that, he started going on what he calls astral travels or astral trips with this said homeless man who was one of his spirit guides. And his life completely changed. The places he was taken to and things that he has seen are nothing short of amazing. Granted, it's always possible he could be making things up, but I feel personally that he's very sincere and genuine. For example, some things he was shown was like the past history of the Earth, for example, the actual history of the Earth. He says that there were several civilizations, not including Atlantis and Romaria, which he said were real. Others that nobody knows about, that have just completely went under the radar. He also claims that humans have lived alongside with dinosaurs, which I've always suspected, to be honest with you. I know there is some evidence for that with giant footsteps or human-like footsteps seen alongside with dinosaurs. So that's not shocking news to me at all. He was shown a variety of alien worlds with strange and intricate, really interesting sort of civilizations. I remember reading about one where there was this civilization where humans, or the male population, was essentially turned into eunuchs with no testosterone, because the females of that civilization had enough of violence. So what they decided to do was to genetically manipulate the males and have them be born and grow up without any tendencies towards fighting. So they ended up taking control of the world, and subsequently after that, the civilization ended up actually flourishing and growing in a very advanced state. So things like that, other worlds, other human-like worlds, parallel versions of Earth, which is what I wanted to talk about. He was shown some very interesting parallel dimensions in our current time of Earth. One of them being in our current time, he claims to have seen a place where our twin towers are still standing. And just a second. The twin towers did not fall because there was no Islamic terrorism, supposedly, even though, I know full well that that thing was a ritual. Whoever did it, there was a ritualistic component to it, and there's no denying that. But he saw another one where there was no slave trade, so there was essentially no African American population in the U.S. So just subtle things like that make big differences. But the one I really wanted to talk about was in this recent interview that I shared of Jeff Mara. Jeff Mara, by the way, I was also on his podcast talking about my near-death experience. He was on that show recently, and I didn't even know that. And it's kind of a synchronicity, actually, because I was talking to, my friend Julie. Literally, on the same day, we're doing a Zoom call on the same day that he was on Jeff's show. And so the parallel Earth that he spoke of was super interesting because he was talking about CERN, which is the last thing I expected to hear. So what do I mean by that? He said that he was in what is our current time in a parallel Earth, and that that world noticed less pollution because there was less travel during the pandemic. And so the CERN scientists somehow, I don't know how, not randomly, they discovered a way to teleport a molecule of water. And that turned into, eventually, I don't know how much time has passed, but he was shown that turned into full-blown Star Trek-like teleportation. And hey, good morning. How you doing? So yeah, I'm basically going live because I don't have any. I made another video that I couldn't upload, so I'm going live pretty much most of the time now. From now on. Just a second. So the CERN scientists in that parallel world, they discovered how to teleport literally from one location to another a molecule of water, and that turned into teleporting large objects and people, etc., etc. So what ended up happening to that parallel Earth and that civilization is that they were able to basically get rid of, all vehicles, planes, anything like that, because it was no longer necessary. Because if you lived in Georgia and wanted to have lunch in Tokyo, all you had to do was literally teleport like the Star Trek movies. And I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, what is going on here? When we think of CERN here, does it work for our benefit? Does it seem like they're working for our benefit? When you have bizarre things going on, like ritualistic dancing to gods of destruction, when you have, mockery like Bond Mandela #1, when you have secrets like this, what is it about that Earth where CERN worked to benefit the civilization, and over here where it seems like we are their enemy, where there's always some kind of hidden hand, there's always some kind of ritual, always something devious going on behind our backs, where they're trying to manipulate things against us. I mean, that's what I believe CERN is being used for multiple purposes. Yeah, just like 5G and HARP. Yeah, you're right. But I'm talking about this guy who was like an astral traveler, and he was shown this parallel version of Earth, the exact time as us, like 2022, where CERN was able to develop teleportation devices. And it ended up turning their civilization into like the Star Trek utopia. So my question of the day is, that's obviously not what's going on in our world. And why is our world, why does it seem like we're the biggest enemy? Doesn't it feel like that? Don't you like get that feeling like we are the enemy to somebody? And it's just kind of annoying and concerning and just depressing. Like, what the hell? And again, I'm not saying that science hasn't brought great benefits. Of course, it has. There have been plenty of improvements made and things in some ways, but it seems like a lot of those things turn against us at some point. And there's no doubt that CERN, the Gothard Tunnel, a lot of Olympic rituals, a lot of music videos everywhere, like it's all the same theme about birthing this deity, birthing this godlike whatever devil he is, right? It's always the same theme. So it seems like CERN's purpose in our world is to frickin', by all means necessary, they could cut off all other timelines, which is what I think they're doing. They could streamline all the timelines into one film reel, a fixed set of events that is very hard to deviate from in order to bring about what they desire, which is the birthing of this being. That is the main thing. That is the key here, I think. And I'm sitting here asking myself the question, why did we end up here in the World War III hellscape that we're going into instead of the utopian, teleportation, kick-ass future I would rather be in? I I definitely would love to envision myself in an awesome world like that. And I'm not saying that it's impossible for us here. Anything is possible. Anything can change, and we shouldn't ever give up hope. I don't care how much power they have, but I'm just saying it seems like in this version of Earth, compared to others that Garnet Schulhauser was shown, it seems like the parasitic elements here have a lot more power, and those other worlds are by no means perfect. No, not at all. It seems like here we have a strangled hold, like something has a vice grip around this planet, and it's so frustrating and annoying. And you don't even have to you don't have to see it. You can feel it in your soul. You can feel it deep inside that it's true, that there is something here that sees us as enemies, that there is something parasitic here. And I'm still hoping for that minuscule chance that that CERN will change its ways and develop that cool stuff instead of bringing about some weird god of theirs that they worship for some reason. I don't know, guys. I just wanted to dedicate this video to Garnet because he's had I've known about him since about 2015, and he's made some excellent videos. He's made he's written some great books, and I've read them all. Whether his travels are real or not, I believe him. I think he's sincere. They're incredible, and you should check him out. You should get his books because this guy is one of my favorites. I think he's really onto something. So just a shout out to him. It's dedication to him for this video. So yeah, looks like later today. I'm about to leave actually, but thanks. At least I got to say hi. I was talking about Garnet Schulhauser here. I am going to be live later today interviewing my friend about the Mandela effect. Not interview, we're just going to have a discussion. Like at 4:45 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be talking about his experiences with the changes and things like that. So I will be back on again later today, though. If you, I know it's early as hell. It's what time? It's actually it's 4:45 a.m. right now. So exactly 12 hours from now. All right. All right, guys. Will and that city, you have a good day now. All right.